Hello, this is Stephanie, and I'm going to walk you through the 2012-2013 Oyster Report. On this report, we're going to start off with the month of October. So we're going to put the month on the line there, and we're going to report the days of harvest here in the far left column. So for the first day of October, we're going to report the total number of bushels harvested, and that is 15. Under gear type, you have several different choices. In this example, we're going to use hand tong. So I'm going to write in hand tong, and then I'm going to move over to the oyster bar or bars where they were caught. We're going to show you where in your shellfish closure area book that you received from your service center, how to look up these different areas. This is your State of Maryland shellfish closure area book that you received from your service center. We're going to look inside. You can see here, this is the area that you know you were harvesting. This is chart 15. We come down here, and we can see that chart 15 covers the Broad and Harris Creeks area. Going across, I can see that's on page 36 and 37. So we'll go there. When I look at the chart, I can see this is where I was harvesting, right here on bar 21. When I go to page 37, I can see that 21 means Mulberry Point. So we just looked up where we were harvesting the oysters, and the bar was Mulberry Point. So I'm going to enter Mulberry Point in this column. I'm going to put the number of crew, not counting yourself, and because I was harvesting by myself that day, I had a crew of 0. I spent 6 hours harvesting, and for here in To Whom Sold, registered buyer license number, and for buy ticket number, I'm going to be showing you the shellfish buy ticket, and that's where you can find those numbers. Here's an example of a shellfish buy ticket. You would have the yellow copy that you received from the dealer. On the shellfish buy ticket, you can find the dealer license number or the shellfish certification number, and up here is the actual ticket number, and that's what you would write on the form. So here is our dealer license number, and I would write down my buy ticket number right there. The last column is your port or creek of landing, and this is where you finished, and we're going to finish here in Nevitt. And I'm going to complete the rest of the form so that you can see how that looks. Here's an example of a completed harvest report. I filled in the rest of the dates of harvest for the month of October, the number of bushels I harvested each day, and in the gear type I changed from using hand tongs to single patent tongs, and I've used an arrow to show that for the rest of the month from the 8th through the 16th I use single patent tong. In the oyster bars I changed from Mulberry Point to Deep Neck, and here you can see the NOAA code. If you happen to know this, it's very helpful, so go ahead and write that on the form. I then continued until the 8th of the month, where I changed to Judy's Point, Well Point, and then back to Mulberry Point. For my crew, I had help on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 7th. I was by myself and then had help again at Mulberry Point. For the number of hours spent harvesting, I simply recorded each day's harvest and how long I took. And then for the license number, I have the buyer's license number here, and this is the shellfish certification number. And then back here I have the dealer's license number. The rest of the buy ticket numbers here, and I finished at Nevitt for each of the days of harvest. Now the only thing left to do is to come down to the bottom of the form. Here is where I would write in my license number, and so I'll just put in a number and my vessel registration number. And you want to be sure to print your name and sign your report. So I'm just going to put in a name here and then sign the report that I'm reporting my harvest for October. And that's all there is to it. Here's an example of an oyster report where we actually didn't harvest for the month of October. I've written no harvest across the center, and then I'll come down to the bottom of the form where I'll complete my license number, my vessel registration number, and then I'll print my name, and again sign my report. I want to be sure to check this box here because it shows that I had no harvest in this month. I'll write in that is for October. And if I know that I'm not going to be harvesting in November, I can just put through November and will automatically create a November report for you.